It's a beautiful Friday. My name is Nick Mudimba and welcome to the odds where of course you put your brain and of course the past history about every given match into your betting slip. But of course in studio, none other than Tuskers FC, that is the defender of the month in the team, James Situma and Steve Ruigu Juguna, who are in studio. Remember, I'm sitting in for Ida Aringa, who's a little bit under the weather, and she'll be joining you next week. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's unfamiliar and unfamiliar territory here, but again, I can see your smiles. You're actually welcoming me. I'm from NSL. How are things done here?
No, you know it's okay because you're a very talented individual.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I think we'll be.
You know, Situ is the first time Steve is actually telling me such things.
It's
No,
you know, when you're about to slaughter a goat, you soften it fast.
So today, meaning I'll be slaughtered. So Situma, how are things done here? What goes on here?
Yeah, we always talk about football, week in, week out. So welcome to Home of Football, and let us talk about football.
All right, there you have it. And of course, it will be kind of a show that will need some engagement. Our social media is at Bamba Sports. You can use the hashtag #TheOddsKE or at Bamba Sports. You'll be sampling some of your views about the Confederations Cup. It's going on. Some teams, of course, surprising us. New Zealand, Portugal, the obvious streak of winnings, and of course, draws. Chile, Germany, fielding in the youngest ever squad. And of course, you can still call in. We can have that conversation. And when you call in, please, it's about conversation. Lower down your TV volume so that you can have an ample time in studio so that we can also hear you. That is 0711046444 so that you can have a very mature conversation here on the odds. Straight into action. I'll start with you, Steve. Of course, that's a good welcome. Thank you very much. So New Zealand, they'll be taking on Portugal. Aside that, it's been difficult for them. Of course, they were the underdogs. It's proving to be the way people actually predicted. What do you think about that team?
Well, they were the underdogs and they've stayed the underdogs. They've not won. They've conceded 4 goals already in this tournament, and it's not looking very good for them. But one thing that we cannot fault New Zealand for lacking is a fighting spirit. And I'm sure despite the fact that they're out of this tournament, they will give Portugal a game of their lives.
All right, Portugal a game of their lives. Of course, some pride to be actually go home with. Situma, New Zealand, the underdogs facing the big boys here.
Yeah, they are playing Portugal, and I think the whole team is thinking about Cristiano Ronaldo, because when you face Portugal, you all think about Cristiano. He's a big player, he's somebody who has won everything on this earth. So I believe they have a big task. Portugal just need 1 point to make it to the semi-final. It's so tricky to them. Remember, New Zealand, when they played Mexico, it was an end-to-end game. I can say so far, as Confederation is concerned, it was the best game so far. It was filled with more emotions. Mexico coming from down to come and win 2-1, it was something good for them. And remember, Chris Wood lost a couple of chances which could have made it more impossible for Mexico to come back into the game. But it's football. When you lose their chances, then the opponents get the chances, they win. But so far, so good. And I believe they want to go down with Portugal, so they will fight.
All right. Legal issues aside, Ronaldo looks bright. Do you think he'll still be a scare before we go now to the head-to-head and other nitty-gritties about the match?
Well, if he plays, remember that their coach, Santos, has not hinted on whether he might rest Ronaldo, but it's looking increasingly likely that he might want to, because if there's any game that Ronaldo can probably be given a short respite, it's this one. Either he might start, then later on be subbed on early on, or he might cede his place and not start, because to be honest, New Zealand are good opposition, but if there is a time to rest a player, I think it's a game against New Zealand, like we saw against Mexico.
So maybe they need to be careful, because complacency can come in and affect all their plans, is it?
Well, if you look at a team like Portugal, yes, they do rely heavily on Ronaldo, but if Ronaldo is not there, there are plenty of options. We can have Quaresma in, we can have the likes of Luis, Nani, we have Andre Silva up front. So they are still a potent attacking force. Why I think that it might be a good strategy to rest Ronaldo is, first of all, New Zealand are probably preparing to defend against Ronaldo.
All right.
So if you don't give them Ronaldo, they'll be a little bit, the timing will be put off a little bit.
True. Portugal has a can afford to rest Ronaldo, but they can't afford to rest more than 3 players. Remember, they need a point to make it to the semi-final. But what happens, maybe you play up to the 85 minutes, then New Zealand gets a goal. It's
They can be
somehow,
shocked.
exactly. That makes like Mexico and Russia will have a chance to make it to the final. So it's somehow tricky. The coach can't afford to rest more than 3 players.
Let's go down to a bit of history. Head to head, you've seen that they have never played before, so it means it's going to be very, very tricky here because the teams, yes, we know who is the underdog, who is the big boy, but we will actually avoid the head to head because we actually have nothing to talk about here. But the last 5 matches, New Zealand as a team, Portugal is coming from the Euros. They are the champions. New Zealand, of course, look at them, the last 5, Situma, Mexico, Russia, Belarus, Northern Ireland, Fiji. Look at the Reds.
They just won 1 game out of their last 5 games. They lost against Mexico, lost against Russia, Belarus, and Ireland. They only won against Fiji, and you know Fiji is also known in rugby. So the same way New Zealand is known in rugby. So they won against their fellow, like I can say, countrymen or so. But what I can say is that this game, they have a 50-50 chance, considering they have never met. So it makes it more tricky for Portugal because they are coming to this game like they are big boys in this game. But remember, New Zealand can act as spoilers in this game.
Steve, looking at Portugal's last 5, it's actually something that you can see. The one against Russia, drew against Mexico, Latvia, Cyprus, they lost against Sweden. They kind of look comfortable. Yes, they the champions, but again, coming in, do you think the last 5 will actually push them to win this game?
I think the recent form, those 4 consecutive lossless games are good, but we have to notice that in those 5 games, they've kept a clean sheet in only 1 of those games. So this is a team that is conceding goals, and this is something that New Zealand have to look at. We saw Chris Wood against Mexico. We saw how dangerous he can be. We also saw how wasteful he can be. But we saw that this New Zealand side is a team that has goals in it. There is Rojas, there is Thomas, and they have a lot of energy. And look at the Portuguese defense. It's apart from the fullbacks, look at, they have in central defense, they have Jose Font and Kepler Lima, 34 and 33 years respectively. So Kepler Lima, aka Pepe, he's an old defender. I think he might also need to be rested. And if they're not rested, they might have a very difficult game against the more exuberant and more youthful Portugal's New Zealand side.
Situma, is it a one-man show here? Because if they rest Ronaldo, maybe the New Zealand might come in with some mindset of, oh, the superstar is actually resting somewhere. We're going to go hard on them.
Yeah, of course, when you are playing a big player, so you, as a coach, always it gives like a task. Ronaldo, you don't play, Ronaldo doesn't play. But if he's out, then it depends to the whole team, as how the strategy you have as a team, the way you are playing, the system you are playing as a team. Because you can plan for one man, then when he doesn't show up, then you are dead as a team because he's not in the game. Then you are, the whole of your game plan is spoiled of one person. So what is more important is that you just have to plan as a team, the way you want to play as a team. As Steven says, the coach is building a team, something like young players. So I think he has to concentrate more to play as a team because Portugal will give them like a good exam for them to make sure that they are competing at the highest level. Sure.
All has been said, nothing has been done. Looking at the odds, Situma, I'll start with you now. Of course, 18.20. My goodness, New Zealand. If you put your money there and risk, my friend, you'll be on another level. A draw, 7.23, and then a win, which is, of course, many are thinking of 1.17. Situma, what do you think of
I'm looking at this situation whereby if you put your money on New Zealand and you put in like 1,000, you get almost 180,000. Wow. That's good money.
18,000.
Wow. 1,000?
Yes.
Okay. But what I can say is that Portugal has an...
I think math.
What I can say is that Portugal has an edge over New Zealand. They have a chance, but it will be a low-scoring game. I can say maybe a 2-0 or 1-0.
I think Situma scored in Shamberere, which is allowed. But now, Steve, what do you think about the odds right now? Because, of course, New Zealand, tempting. But again, Portugal are the favorites.
You know, it's tempting, but common sense prevails. You look at, you'd rather even have that 1.17 for Portugal because this New Zealand side is still an experimental side. I think if they get a draw from this game, it will be like a win for them. But that's still highly unlikely.
The pride in it.
Yeah, but that I think is still very, very
But
highly
if
unlikely.
they put in the same spirit which they showed when they played Mexico, then it will be a good game. It will be an entertaining game.
All right,
to watch.
there we have it, of course, from our able pundits here. Now, next, you're going to Mexico versus Russia. You're aware, of course, Mexico came from behind to stun a very resilient New Zealand. It was a very high-tempered match. But again, they're facing a Russian side with the absolute home support, Steve. This one is going to be a little bit harsh for the Mexicans. What do you think?
This is going to be tricky for the Mexicans. They need, I think, a point. A point would be good enough for them. That would mean they have 5 points and would probably qualify as second place. But as you said, it's not going to be easy. They are playing the Russians in Kazan, a very stronghold of the Russian Republic. And I think this game will boil down to the midfield. Who is going to dominate? The home team, of course, the Russian team, will want to be more adventurous because, of course, they're at home. They have the support of their fans. They have everybody cheering them on. But also Mexico is a very, very good side on counter-attack. We saw that against Portugal.
Yeah. Javi Hernandez was rested in the other match. Do you think that was a tactical situation now that he's going to face Russia? Do you think the coach was kind of approaching the game in a tactical way, resting one of the key players?
Yeah, exactly. If as a coach you have a chance maybe playing a certain team, maybe if I get 1 point or I have a chance of winning, then you have to rest your key players because we have another matches coming over ahead of the ahead. So I believe it was something good for him, though he risked a lot because he rested a lot of players, his key players, and you saw that match. It was so intense, and New Zealand was ahead, and they used a lot of energy to come back into the game. But what got my eyes that the goals that Mexican scored, they were beautiful goals. They had a very fantastic fighting spirit coming back to the game. So I believe they are facing a Russian side which is playing at home. And remember, Russia, they are not well at the back. They're somehow shaky at the back, and I believe if Mexican can put more pressure up front and with the Hernandez up front, then I can see something from Mexican.
All right, straight into action, head-to-head situation here. Of course, we're having two teams who haven't met for maybe, yeah, look at that. They played 2 times. Steve, what do you think about the situation here? Is it a predictable match, or we're going to see something very difficult to predict here?
I think it's going to be more difficult for Mexico right now with some of their defensive issues. Right now, they're stripped down to the bare minimum because their first choice right back, Salcedo, got very badly injured against in the New Zealand game. Then his replacement, Hector Moreno, who came on, also got injured. So right now, basically, they have Rafael Marquez, the oldest player in the Confederations Cup, at the age of 38. Starting in central defense. He's a good defender, yes, but of course when you're 38. And the younger Russian forwards, the likes of Golovin, Smolov, they might want to take advantage of this fact. And we'll have to see how they'll hold out defensively. I think that's the main issue that is plaguing Mexico at the moment.
Last 5, we started with Mexico, Situma. We're seeing this team, of course, they won the last match. It's kind of a good one, yeah, balanced.
Yeah, they have played 5 games. They have won 3 games, drew 2. They won against New Zealand, drew against Portugal, and they drew against United States, won against Honduras, and again Ireland. And if you out of those games, if you watch Portugal and United States, those are good matches, and I think they have done so well about their 5 games. And coming to this match, they have a chance. And as Steve said, like they have an old defender at the back, and I believe at times all is gold, and it depends to the coach how he comes up with the setup of the team. You know that okay, we are playing someone who doesn't have that speed, so we defend as a team. We have to give him the cover up at the back because we make sure we defend for him, because at times we can use his experience. He came into the game that had a lot of speed, but he played very well until the last minute, and they won the game.
All right, Steve, Russia, of course, the loss recently is still fresh in our memories now. Lost against Portugal, won against New Zealand, drew with Chile, won against Hungary, and of course drew with Belgium. Kind of very, very mixed results. 2 wins, 1 loss, and 2 draws, Steve.
but look at the quality of the opposition they played against. I watched their game against Belgium, which was a World Cup qualifier, and they were leading until the last minute where Lukaku managed to get an equalizer. They won against Hungary, which was a team that participated at Euro 2016 and got to the round of 16. They drew against Chile. They won against New. These teams they are playing were very top quality opposition. So right now, I'd further as much as to say that the Russian team right now is playing at its highest level. It has been playing since Euro 2016. And right now, they've been getting the right type of opposition. And they're in the right frame of mind. So they have no excuses. They're at home. They have to attack, they have to be brave and see if they can get something out of a very tough Mexico side, which is having its own defensive issues.
All right, this one looks like a tricky one now. Let's get to look actually at the odds. It's not very easy, but again, look at that. Mexico with 2.42, a draw with 3.34. And of course, yeah, Russia, if they win, it's 2.96. Kind of a tough to call Situma. What happens here now?
For me, I'll give Mexico with reasons, because each team has played 2 games, and Mexico have really done very well. After their first game, the second game they played very well. Unlike Russia, they are playing at home, and believe me, in a tournament, you have to qualify to the semi-finals. We have so much pressure from the fans. They want you to win. It's a must. You have to win. And they have struggled a little bit in attacking, I can say. And with Hernandez up front in Mexico, I'm sure goals will come. And if Mexico scores first in this game, then it's home.
Steve, what do you think about that match? Kind of tight to call, but again, Situma has gone with Mexico. Russia at home, what do you think?
I'm afraid I also have to go with Mexico on this one.
You're
because
brave.
I feel, no, you know, it's not always good to agree with Situma.
Yeah,
because it looks like I'm copying him. Yet in reality, you know, some of these things we discuss outside the studio, then he comes and says first before.
Sure.
It's not fair. But anyway, that's a case for another day.
Similar life.
That's a case for another day. What I do think is there are 2 very good sides, but attack-minded wise, Mexico are more clinical. As Situma said, they have the likes of Javier Hernandez, aka Chicharito, up front. Carlos Vela, who was rested for the whole game last game, did not play, and he'll be fresh. Remember that assist he gave Chicharito. They're playing really well right now. The likes of Hector Herrera, the likes of Jonathan Dos Santos, Giovanni Dos Santos, they are more clinical. The Russians are finding it. They are possessing the ball very well. They possess the whole of the second half against Portugal, but they're not getting clear breakthroughs. They're not creating clear chances. Exactly. So that's the thing that will really affect them.
All right. There it is. Of course, we're taking a short break, but when we come back, we'll now be picking your calls, and we'll be talking about Chile versus Australia. Chile, of course, doing well. Australia stumbling a bit, but of course not so sure about the qualification. They're out. But again, we'll be taking your calls. That's the number of your screen. That is 0711 046 444. Call us. Tell us about your progress as far as the Confederations Cup is concerned. What do you think about the predictability of the whole tournament? We'll be seeing you after a short break.
The National Super League is not for the faint-hearted.
Kama wewe si mwanaume sidhani kama unaweza cheza, ni ball ngumu sana.
Playing the NSL is more difficult than playing in the Premier League.
With the largest number of clubs in the land, only those with experience achieve.
Nimeenda Ujerumani, nimesoma mpira.
And I've done my diploma in Brazil.
With the largest pool of talent, only those clubs with strategy win.
When people run headlines that say KCB vaults raided and they are referring to the football club being relegated, that sounds off. So we had to clean it up very quickly.
With diverse ambitions, only those clubs with a vision thrive.
We'll be listed on the stock exchange. We want to have our own stadium.
Don't miss NSL Club Life only on Bomba Sport.
Welcome back to the Oz. If you're joining us right now in studio is James Situma and Stephen Juguna, who are taking us through the matches that we expect over the weekend as far as the Confederations Cup is concerned. Remember, they'll also be giving their own opinion on how the matches they've chosen. That's the multi-bets, where now it's kind of tricky, but again, they'll be engaging each other on that. Of course, right now, before we start, of course, there's a call coming in right now. Hello? 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 All right, it seems like we've lost that call, and of course, try and call. That's your number on the screen, the 0711 046 444. We'll be talking about more on the Confederations Cup and what to feel. Another one, of course, right now is try and pick that call. Hello, can you hear us? Hello, can you hear us? Where are you calling from? Hello, I can hear you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Seems you've lost that call again. We'll take another one. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from, my brother?
Oh, yes, I'm called Ben Nyanga.
All right, Ben. Ben, tell us more about what's your comment on Confederations Cup and everything that's going on right now. Seems we've lost Ben over there. We'll take the last one before you continue with our discussion here. Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm Josephat.
Hey, hi, Josephat. What do you think about the Confederations Cup so far? Where are you calling from, first of all, Josephat?
I'm calling from Kisii.
All right.
So, nilikuwa na support tu show nikisema Federation Cup hiyo.
All right.
Hiyo iendelee tu hivyo hiyo.
Nini iendelee hiyo bwana?
Hata sikuwa nimeshikanisha hiyo jadala.
All right, there maybe our brother there's a bit lost now. We're taking another call. Hello, where are you calling from? Hello. Seems like most guys want to hear themselves on television. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hi. What's your name and where are you calling from, my brother?
Hello.
It's kind of difficult to get hold of guys because mostly when you call, kindly reduce the volume of the TV. We'll be having an ample discussion here because we also want to hear you instead of having feedback now. Straight into action. Of course, another match we're having Chile versus Australia. Steve, now it's another match. Chile looks bright and of course one of the favorites to win the tournament. But again, they're facing Australians who are already out of the tournament and they're playing like New Zealand. Do you think maybe also pride will be actually in contention here?
Well, Australia have an outside chance, just a small outside chance of qualifying for the semi-finals. That is if they do beat Chile by a huge margin, by let's say maybe 2 goals or so, and hope that probably Germany and Cameroon draw. Then that way they may be able to overcome the Chilean goal difference and go. But it's a hard task for Australia. It's a very difficult task. And one of the big issues that has been plaguing their coach, Postecoglou, which the Greek coach, is his new system. He's been trying to implement a 3-5-2 on the Australian national team, and he's been doing so for a few months, and they've been thrashed repeatedly.
Thrashed with that formation.
In fact, for the last...
I love the way Steve is insisting on thrash.
With feelings.
Yeah, too bad. Yes.
You know, in the last 3 games, the friendly before Brazil, their first game in the Confederations Cup, and that draw against Cameroon, they have conceded 8 goals.
That's a lot.
That's an average, I think, of around 2-point-something goals per game.
Wow.
So that new formation is unsettling the team.
Situma now. It's a Chile side, which of course they look bright. They look as they're the favorites, one of the favorites to win the tournament now. They're taking on Australia, a weaker side.
Yeah, Australia doesn't have they stand no chance to win against Chile, and Chile has a good squad. They are playing very well, but also they have a problem in scoring. They are not scoring those, they are not creating more chances up front because in Chile, I can say, unlike Portugal, at the moment, if someone deals with Sanchez, then they have problems because Sanchez in that setup is playing like is having a free role. The way when they're attacking, he has a free role where he moves, where he wants to receive the ball, where he wants to dribble the ball. So if like the last game when they played, I remember their last game, he was coming somehow so deep to collect the ball, and it makes him difficult to go through many players to make sure, or maybe to make an attack. So it will be somehow problem for them, though they're facing a side that has nothing to lose. And that's also somehow tricky to them because if you are playing with someone who doesn't have anything to lose, then it's so hard to him because he's coming to enjoy the game, to make sure that, okay, I'm playing Chile, big players, Arturo Vidal, I'm playing Sanchez, then I want to show myself, and they can surprise Chile.
All right, now going head to head, they've played twice, and of course it's something that still not not actually very heavy for us to actually come up with a complete or a confident conclusion now. Look at that, Steve. What do you think about, of course, it's not so easy for us to actually, looking at that, they played twice only. What do you think about that?
I don't think the head-to-head will have any bearing. Right now, they are going to go into a totally new scenario because they've never played against each other in the Confederations Cup.
Yeah.
And these two current squads, there are very few players who know each other that well. You know, like when Chile played Germany, half of the Chilean players play in the Bundesliga, so they at least know the players. Right now here, Chile versus Australia, it's going to be a bit tricky for both sets of players because they've not encountered each other that much.
All right, Situma, straight to the other side now. Last five, and of course it's been last five for Australia, that is. For Chile, I beg your pardon. Looking at that, drawing against Germany, they won against Cameroon, our African brothers, lost against Romania, drew against Russia, and won against Burkina Faso.
Yeah, inconsistent a little bit because they drew against Germany, which is, I can say, against a young side, and win against Cameroon. And I remember that game, Cameroon were not clean up front. They could have gotten something in that game. And also they lost against Romania. You know, Romania are not big house in world football, so we can say they maybe they are a Romanian team, but that's not maybe good for them. They drew against Russia and won against Burkina Faso, an African side. But what I can say, maybe they are facing an Australia side, and something that can work for them, maybe that cohesion. They have been together for quite some time, like the 3/4 of that squad, they have stayed together like maybe for 6-7 years. So it is a team that have stayed together, and exactly, and it will work for them.
All right, now looking at Australia, the last five, they've been blowing hot and cold, and of course, it's something Cameroon drew against Cameroon, lost against Germany, Brazil. Those are big boys. Don't even mention them. But again, look at the opponents they won against: Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates.
Well, it's clear that in the Asian Confederation, they are clearly king. There are only few teams that can challenge them in Asia, only South Korea and Japan, who are very stable Asia football teams. The rest, it was a bit tricky. But even that game against Saudi Arabia, I watched it, they still conceded twice. It ended 3-2. That defeat to Brazil, 4-0. Brazil scored in 12 seconds. I think if you had gone to serve tea, as Situma likes serving tea, they would have found him still at the heater.
It's actually attacking the Luya in you, but again, we thank God for you.
No, it's healthy. Anyway, my point is simple. They are conceding goals. They are conceding goals against top teams, and they are conceding goals also against small teams. So if Chile wake up and turn up and be a little bit more clinical than they were against Germany, then I think it might be a bloodbath for Australia.
The odds now, of course, Chile are the favorites right now. And of course, it's something that when you look at it, Australia have nothing to lose, as said Situma. 1.171 for Chile, a draw 4.86. But again, look at Australia's odd, 7.58. Situma, what's your prediction here?
My prediction here, I'll give Chile, it's a 2-0 scoreline. For Chile.
He was so sure about 2-0 when Russia played the first game, and you got it right. Let's hope the goal side will actually go your way this time round.
Octopus.
Steve, what have you said?
Octopus.
Octopus. No. What have
there was a comment I was burning to say, but I think
you're free. You know, Steve is always a hater, so don't expect anything good from him towards me.
He always says he's your teacher, so I wonder.
Who? Steven.
All right, Steve,
Never.
what's your thought about that?
I think Chile versus Australia, it's a bit clear cut. I think there's going to be goals, so I think this one is going to be an over 2.5 in terms of goals.
All right, there you have it. The number to call us right now is 0711 046 444. Now I'll be taking a call right now. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? I'll take another call over there. Now, hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? All right, we'll drop that and take the next call. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Douglas.
All right.
Yes, I'm calling from Dandora.
Okay, so from Dandora, what do you think about the Confederations Cup so far, my brother?
Yeah, thank you very much. But as far as Confederation is concerned,
You can maybe speak louder so that you can get you here in studio, my brother.
Okay, sir. Let me start with the Portugal game.
All right.
The Portugal game, I think, going to be a little bit different.
Okay.
So the fact that you people are saying that started going to rest Cristiano Ronaldo, but also unfortunately, I'm not saying that that is going to be rested.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to be a do or die match for the Portugal, because they want to prove this team that are in Europe.
All right.
I think that they're going to go to up to the final.
All right, thank you very much there, my brother. That's his opinion. And of course, we'll take another caller right now. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Please reduce the volume of your TV so that you can have an ample time here in studio. All right, we'll drop that one. Callers actually coming in a good way. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Oh goodness, guys want to hear themselves on TV. All right, we'll continue. Won't give up. More calls are coming in right now. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Nicholas.
Hey Nicholas, my namesake. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good.
What's your comment about the Confederations Cup so far? What do you think about the level of competition? Is it too predictable, Nicholas?
Okay, my view is that Chile might impress.
Yes.
But not that really it is not an easy task for them to win.
All right. Why do you think it's not an easy task for Chile to win this tournament?
In the case that if they go to final
all right.
with Portugal, Portugal might beat them thoroughly.
All right, thank you very much there, my brother Nicholas, for that opinion. Portugal might beat Chile thoroughly. Another call there. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Ian.
All right, Ian.
I'm
Where are you calling from?
Nairobi.
All right, Ian. It's kind of an unpredictable Confederations Cup. What do you think about the whole tournament and the level of competition?
So far, they have seen the tournament.
All right.
I've been pleased with the German team.
Or you're going with the youthful German team. What do you think German team will actually prosper in this Confederations Cup? They have no stars, actually, the usual big names. What do you think?
Considering next year we're having World Cup,
all right,
I think the Joachim Low is doing a quite good job.
Interesting. It's a youthful team, but of course that's his opinion right now, saying Germany will actually carry the day in this tournament. Another call. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Michael.
Hi, Michael. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Giga.
Hi, Michael. What do you think about the whole scenario in the Confederations Cup? I hope you've been following it.
Me, I'm following Germany, Chile yesterday.
All right, you're watching Germany, Chile yesterday. So what do you think about the two teams?
Chile my favorite.
Oh, Chile is your favorite?
Chile.
All right, interesting choice there. Maybe give us a reason why Chile will be better than Germany and Portugal. All right, my brother there has actually vanished. We're taking another call. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Osit.
All right.
Yes, Osit. I'm calling from Nairobi.
Yes, my brother. Tell us about the Confederations Cup so far. What do you think?
Yeah, the Confederations Cup is so tricky, but I think Portugal and Chile are the favorites. They are favorites, but from the look of things, I think Mexico is going to win the match.
Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico is going to win the match against Russia.
Against Russia. So Mexico is going to win against Russia, yes.
Yes, this is the fact that Russia are playing at home, but Mexico have experienced players like Chicharito and the Santos. I think they're going to win the match.
All right, and of course, calls are coming in at a very interesting rate. Now, we'll take the final call because we don't want you to hang in there. So, hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from, my brother. Hello, can you hear us? Seems that caller has actually dropped that call. Now back to a studio session. Of course, many guys are actually taking Germany, Portugal, and a little bit of Chile, but we're seeing no Russia in the picture. We're seeing no... The big guys are actually taking the day. What do you think about their opinions? Are you in agreement with Germany, starting with you, Situma, and the big boys have actually been conspicuous in these conversations?
Yeah, of course, myself, I'm a German fan. I just love German football, and it's for a long time I've been a German football fan, and I believe they stand a chance. These are a youthful side, and when they played Chile, coming from down and leveling against an experienced side, then it's a big statement from the German team. And I just love the structures from Germany. I think they have under 20, under 21, this youthful side. Remember the structures. They have rested the caliber of Boateng, Ozil, Cruz, and believe me, they're doing wonders. And I believe going to the knockout stage, in knockout stage, you can underrate anyone. If you can't play very well, then you are out. And I believe they have a chance against Cameroon, the way they played against Chile.
So, Steve, Chile, Portugal, Germany, the big guns, of course, being favored to win this tournament. Germany fielding a very youthful side. From the goalkeeping department, the defenders, only Draxler is who maybe is so familiar to me right now. What do you think about such a situation in the German setup?
I think I'll just follow what their coach, Joachim Low, said during the press conference after he unveiled his squad. He said, and I'm quoting him exactly, I'm taking some of the younger players, the younger generation of German players, and playing them in this competition because I know we have World Cup qualifiers and Euro 2020 qualifiers. I want to rest the senior team, and I want some of these younger players to get to the same level as the likes of Ozil and Cruz and the first team players, so that they can also form a part of my squad for next year's World Cup. And when you see a statement like that, you see the wisdom in that coach, because he's thinking, right now I'm having a Confederations Cup. I'd rather see my players my main players who played like 60 games at club level, most of them getting to UEFA Champions League semi-finals, playing so many games. I'd rather see them rest and see if I can get these younger players up to scratch. Even if they get knocked out at a certain position, that experience will make them almost on the same level as the senior team.
But I believe the German Federation has given him a leeway, a good support to come up with something like that, because to take such a decision as a coach is a big decision, and you have to have support from the federation, because you are representing the whole nation. So
it's true that. Of course, you're taking a short break, but when you come back right now, we want to focus on the multi-bets. Situma has his own, Steve has his own, and of course, it's going to be a bit mixed here. So stay tuned. We'll be coming back after a short break.
When it's Monday night, then it's time for much awaited football banter.
Well, look no more.
Get all the goals, in-depth analysis, and the latest news in the world of football.
Join me, Ida Orenga, every 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on Monday Night Football, right here on Bamba Sport, the home of true fans.
All right, welcome back to the Oz. If you're joining us right now in studio is James Situma, the defender of the month in the Tusker squad, and of course that's Steve Rigu, part of this team who are actually analyzing what's going to happen over the weekend. Other matches, of course, will be played in different continents. Of course, let's start with Steve's multi-bet. You went with very sophisticated choice here, but again, let's take a look at how Steve actually managed to convince us. It's been something that we've seen you in a very compromising situation at some point. Look at that, Steve.
Well, in my first game there, I had Yan Bian Funde versus Shanghai Shenhua. This is the Chinese Super League, which is still going on right now. Then there is the New York Derby between New York Red Bull and New York City FC. Then there is Botafogo versus Avai in the Brazilian Serie A. Situma is laughing. Recently, he was telling me he has never heard of a word
I
like
didn't say
Botafogo.
that.
Anyway, you need to learn these things, my friend.
Botafogo.
Then
It's an old team, I know. The Brazilian league.
Then there is, of course, my final multi-bet, which was Italy versus Germany under 21. So in my first game, Yan Bian Funde versus Shanghai Shenhua. Yan Bian Funde is a team that I also discussed last week. They were playing bottom of the league team, and they managed to win. But they are still also just some points off the relegation zone. In Shanghai Shenhua have been in really good form. Remember that Yan Bian Funde is over-relying on their striker, Boubacar Travali, the Gambian international. They're over-relying on him too much for goals. He's only scored 4 this season. And if your top scorer and your main source of goals is only scoring 4, that's very difficult. So I think even though it will be a difficult away game, Shanghai Shenhua should be able to carry the day in that one. Then in my second one, we have the New York Derby, which is the New York Red Bull versus New York City FC. And I took an over 2.5 for clear reasons. These two teams, the MLS season is still ongoing. It's just almost now starting to go into its peak slightly. And these two teams are scoring freely and are also conceding freely. That's a big problem. Patrick Vieira has done a very good job at New York City FC as its coach. He's bringing in new talent. You know, New York City is associated with Manchester City, so he's being able to bring in some players on loan, the likes of Miguel Arroyo. Remember last season he had Frank Lampard over. But I think this game, by the mere fact that it's a derby, we'll see goals, and goals, because New York City still have some experienced heads. They still have David Villa in their rank. They have Andrea Pirlo. So for that, I put an over 2.5. Then my third game was Botafogo versus Avaí. These are two teams at the opposite spectrums. Botafogo are currently occupying a Copa Libertadores spot in the top 5, the Serie A. Avaí are struggling in the lower reaches. You know, they made a sensational signing former Inter Milan and Roma defender Maicon. But you can't sign a whole team if the team is not doing well. It's not doing well. No key signing will come and change that. You have to change that from internally, and I don't think they'll be able to go and get a point away at Botafogo. Finally, my last game was Italy under 21 versus Germany under 21, which is part of the ongoing European under 21 championships. And we've seen Italy win one game and lose one game, and they lost 3-1 to Czech Republic in a game which they were very, very poor. Their superstars, the likes of Domenico Berardi, they were not working, they were not getting the ball. The likes of Pellegrini, who scored very well in his first game, they are not really doing good for the team. Germany, on the other hand, have won 2 straight games, and they've scored a total of 5 goals, conceding only once. So I think they'll be good. They have some experienced players. Of course, most of the young players did go to confederations, but they still have the likes of Serge Gnabry, the former Arsenal man, who's banging in the goals there. They have Davy Selke, the RB Leipzig striker, who's also on very good form. So I think that's a clear win for Germany.
All right, Stuma, you've had Steve, and yeah, from your side, I'm very sure you have words for Steve, because you never lack words for Steve. What do you think about Steve's decision and choices so far? Do you think maybe Steve is very right, or do you think Steve will lose his money?
For the first time, though I don't want to say this, he has tried. He has
tried, so, not fully, but he's tried.
And I believe he's gonna get some money from his malbets.
All right. I think for the first time. Is it for the first time? Maybe it's
rarely. It rarely happened.
Okay, so I think
it rarely happened.
Because the last time I watched the show, you were at a very compromising situation.
You know,
things were big for you, my brother.
I think when Ida is around, Situma always wants to impress her. That's why he always disagrees with me. Now
Ida, quick recovery.
Now that Mudimba is here, he's being more honest.
More honest with you. It's okay. Ida, quick recovery where you are. Of course, now Situma's multibet. Now you can take us through your multibet, because now you started all the way down in South Africa.
Yeah, of course. Myself, I always do cocktails. And when I talk about cocktails, I think Steven starts smiling, because you know why. I don't want to say that. So I've done South African League, and also I did a Canadian Championship, and also MSL. And I started with the Super Sport against Orlando Pirates. These are a Nedbank Cup final. And remember, at this moment, Orlando Pirates have really have had a very horrible season. They have only won like 6 games throughout the season. They are going to the last matches next weekend of the SPL, and I believe maybe they want to have something at the back, but they can't beat SuperSport because this is the second time they are meeting on a road. They met last year, the same playing Nedbank Cup final, and SuperSport won. They are meeting again the second consecutive year at the same place, and I believe they still don't have a chance to against SuperSport to win this game because SuperSport are 5th on the log, and Orlando Pirates are 11th on the log. They are not doing very well, and they stand no chance to win against SuperSport. I did Toronto FC against New England. These are Canadian Championship, and these are two teams. They played 3 weeks ago, and New England beat Toronto like 3-0. They are meeting again. And the Toronto coach said that he wants to rotate the squad because the coming Wednesday next week they have a cup final to think, an open cup to think about. So he wants to rest his players to make sure that when they go on to play on the Wednesday, they have fresh legs. But even if he has his key starters in the game, they can't match New England. And then Steven talked about new Red Bulls against New York City. This is a derby. And the interesting thing is that David Villa is scoring. He's scoring freely in the league, but he's going to play against a goalkeeper who is third in making saves on the league. So it's more interesting to see what will happen in that game. And also I had Houghton Dynamo and against FC Dallas. This is another derby which is going to be played in Texas, and the fans from Dallas they want to go and make a statement in Houghton. Houghton's playing at home, and being a derby, most of the times the Dynamo has had a way of beating Dallas, and this time the fans, they have energy. They have said we are traveling in numbers to make sure that this time we come from Houghton when we have 3 points. But I can't see that happening because according to from the previous games, Houghton has always beaten Dallas.
Steve, do you think his bet slip is in safe hands, or Situma is going to cry this weekend? What do you think about his choice?
No, I think he's going to cry, definitely. In fact, after we leave studio, I'll buy him a handkerchief. 2 games in particular I have a problem with. SuperSport.
You don't have a problem with, you have your views.
I have a problem with, because it's me who's having the problem.
Go on.
SuperSport versus Orlando Pirates. Yes, I agree that SuperSport bet Pirates earlier this season, but the one thing is that SuperSport is having one significant loss in terms of a big game. They're not having their defender Michael Boxall, who's on Confederations Cup duty with New Zealand right now. So he's a very key part of the team, and they'll miss his presence. And also Orlando Pirates, as you said, have had a terrible season, so they will be putting all of their energy to try and salvage.
But they are low in confidence, believe me. You can't win 6 games in the whole season. You win 6 games and you expect to win a cup final.
That's the league. The league and the cup are two totally different things.
I know that.
You remember in 2013, Wigan was relegated from the English Premier League, and they still went on to win the FA Cup against Manchester City. So these are things that happen, and they happen in football.
But these are teams that lost 6-1 the other day against SuperSport.
I think the way it's going, we might actually discuss this until midnight. Yeah. But again, let's hope everyone is safe with his bet slip, because right now we're taking a short break. But when you come back now, Cameroon is actually a team that is going to face a very difficult opponent that is in the name of Germany. We're taking a short break, but when you come back, we'll be talking about now the opinion of our National Super League coaches on who between Germany and Cameroon will carry the day in another game of the Confederations Cup. Stay tuned to the odds.
They say life is a game and people the players.
Nikimgonga siendelee na game, naenda nafanya shopping yangu mzuri ya nyumba, nguo zangu pale Moi Avenue na kurelax.
Wakenya wana bet sababu ya pesa.
Youth saizi hawana chapa.
Pia jobs sai Kenya ukiangalia hakuna.
You can't win unless you play. But sometimes playing the game can be
I
frustrating.
only lost remaining 2 minutes. Nikapoteza 780,000.
But other times, the returns on investment can be life-changing.
Asubuhi kuamuka. Nashanga hii message ni ya nani? Kuangalia 43,000 na niliweka ite sikuamini.
Be a smart investor. Never make the same mistake twice.
Siwezi bet nao, labda ni FC.
Arsenal imekuwa ikinipatia pressure sana.
Before you place a bet, watch the odds with Aida Waringa on Bamba Sports.
All right, welcome back to the odds in studio. James Ituma as usual, Stephen and Njuguna trying to square it out here. But again, Cameroon will be taking on the Germans. Again, Cameroon out of the tournament. They've actually been wasting. They've been wasteful the whole tournament. And they're taking on the Germans this time round. It's a bit tough. They're taking on the Germans, Steve. A side that many maybe thought they'll be whipped in terms of the youthful situation. What do you think about this game? This is an obvious situation.
Well, on paper, it looks like if Cameroon win by a 2-0 margin, they will be able to beat the Germans in terms of goal difference. Because right now Cameroon have a goal difference of -2 because of their 2-0 loss against Chile. Actually, they need a 3-0 win. Germans have a +1. So if Cameroon win by at least 2 or 3 clear goals, they'll be able to overturn. But it's very hard against a German side which is still young but has all the hallmarks of a traditional German side: defensive solidity and a very, very good, quick, effective attacking football. So they'll find it difficult, but we've seen bigger surprises in football history. If they pull this one off, I won't be as surprised.
Situ, what's your opinion on this match?
Yeah, if it's energy and speed, the Germans can't match Cameroonians. But again, will Cameroonians maybe stand the Germans tactically? Because when you watch them play their last game, they were wasteful in front of goal, because they attack they have good counterattacks, but in front of goal they are struggling in front of goal. They are not scoring goals, and they tend to play more individual game in front of goal. But if you watch German play, then you see a team playing together. You see they play like lazy touches, and Joachim is doing a good job for the German side. So coming to this match, if they continue with the same trend, losing so many chances in front of goal, then they will pay for it, because German are so clinical in front of goal and more tactical than Cameroon.
All right, we have our own opinions here in studio, but again, we engaged our National Super League coaches who are conducting some training this week, and this is what they had to say about our African counterparts, Cameroon, taking on the Germans.
Germany versus Cameroon, I feel Cameroon wako na morali iko chini kidogo, taking into consideration na kwamba wali lose their first match, so sioni chances zao za kushinda game against Germany, but I think Portugal good to go. They will carry the confederations.
Naona German ikishinda hiyo mechi na inaweza shinda 2-0, because German wanajua football ya Africa sana na ni timu nzuri sana, so tactical everything German wako strong. In fact, they are the favorite kwa hii tournament.
Ukiangalia mechi ya kwanza Cameroon alipoteza, Germany alishinda. So Cameroon anakuja akiwa wounded, anataka kurecover. Lakini tactically Germany wako ni wazuri, wanacheza game poa, free flowing, wako na combination nzuri. So itakuwa tough match, but naona Germany akibuka mshindi 2-1.
Cameroon wanakuja wakiwa down, walifungwa, but Germany ukiangalia discipline yao iko top level, so I think Germany are going to be the victors in this game.
All right, there we have it. Germany seems to be having the upper hand here. And of course, you can still call us and have your opinion. The number on your screen, that's 0711046444. Call us, have your opinion. Who do you think will win this match? And of course, many people are actually going for German because they know it's a machine and can destroy you big time. Steve, do you think maybe we might experience some surprise here, because maybe the Cameroonians, they're known to come maybe with this aspect of, okay, we lost our 2 games, of course, or we drew out. We didn't perform well, but again, we're coming here to actually prove to you that we can actually beat you guys.
Well, I think Cameroon against Australia, the last game, was a great example of a game they threw away, because Vincent Aboubakar had so many chances. I think 3 or 4 clear chances, which he should have buried, being a top quality striker. So I think right now what the coach is telling them, Hugo Broos is telling them, those chances we threw away against Germany, if we convert them, the chances we threw away, then we have 2 or 3 goals and we qualify. What's there to stop us? Because this group is hanging in the balance technically, because okay, Chile against Australia might be a little bit more straightforward because of Australia's defense, but Cameroon are actually not conceding that much. They actually took 84 minutes to concede against Chile. They played very well. So Germany know Cameroon might be a hard nut to crack, but I think this game will eventually go to the person who scores first.
All right, we've got actually callers right now, and of course we'll be picking your calls. Hello, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Ivan.
Hey, tell us, what do you think about the Confederations Cup so far, especially Germany versus Cameroon?
I think Germany will win against Cameroon. And the Portugal will
Maybe, bro, you can reduce the volume on your television set so that we can actually hear you very well in studio. But of course, we've lost him there. We can take another caller. Hello, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Yes.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from, my brother. Hello? All right, we've dropped that call, and of course, we can get him clearly. Hello, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from, my brother.
I'm Derek from Umage.
All right. Just reduce the volume of your television set, please.
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you very well. Reduce the volume of your television set, please. What's your name and where you're calling from again? All right, seems we have actually lost another caller there. Please, when you call, kindly reduce the volume of your TV so that you can have a peaceful conversation here. Now we can take another caller there. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? All right, we'll drop that one. We take another caller. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kiambu.
All right, my brother from Kiambu. What do you think about Germany versus Cameroon?
I think Germany will beat Cameroon 3-0.
3-0. That's a lot of goals. Thank you very much for your opinion there. Of course, taking another call right now. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Samir.
Hey, Samir, where are you calling from, Samir?
I'm calling from Nairobi.
Yes, what do you think about the match? Germany taking on Cameroon, our African neighbors.
There's nothing like African neighbors. They are wasteful in the previous game. Abubakar was wasteful. He should have converted at least a chance.
All right.
And then the other thing is that they're not getting. They gave away a seat.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for your opinion. He actually said Abubakar was very wasteful in that situation. Let's take another call. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from? Can you reduce the volume of your TV set, please? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, tell us where you're calling from. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, my brother. Hello?
Hello, I'm Rogers.
Hey, hi, Rogers. What do you think about the game? Germany taking on Cameroon.
I'm fine. I'm calling from Uganda.
All right. Thank you very much for calling from that much far. So what do you think about Cameroon versus Germany? Okay, we've lost that one. Seems like you're having a problem. Please, when you call us, make sure you reduce the volume of your TV so you can have a very good conversation here in studio with us. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from, my brother?
I'm David.
Hey, Dennis, what do you think about the match between Germany and Cameroon?
Hiyo game rahisi. Cameroon watashinda.
So I understand Cameroon itashinda. So I think before we take the last call, first let's focus on the call. The last call right now. Hello, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Elizabeth Makacha.
All right, Makacha. Where are you calling from, my brother? Since Makacha is my brother there. All right, it seems we've lost Makacha. Your brother from Kakamega was actually calling. I think he just said maybe it's German.
So anyone comes from Kakamega is my brother.
Makacha is a conspicuous Lunje name from the other side. So Germany, the favorites. All the callers except one caller said Cameroon. Game rahisi sana Cameroon watashinda.
Okay, I think Joachim is a smart coach, and for him to win this game, he has to deny Cameroon a lot of space at the back. And the good thing with Germany is that their style of play, the wing backs don't overlap. They always do underlap. If you have watched Philipp Lahm play, most of the times he will come with underlap, so that when they lose the ball, he is near to the situation to defend the ball, because he knows very well I'm not that good in speed. So they are more tactical, and I believe that's something that's going to work for them against Cameroon.
Many callers actually are pointing fingers on Abubakar. He was very wasteful in the other match. Do you think maybe that situation, maybe he has learned something from it's been rough for him, even Cameroonians are actually pointing fingers at him?
Well, let's look at it into perspective. Last season he had at Besiktas, he was mercurial. He scored many goals. He's been linked with Newcastle, who are recently promoted. So he's a good striker, and he's only 25. So I think everybody has a bad day at the office. Even my friend Situma here, who is a professional footballer, he can tell you there's a day as a defender, there are days you won't forget. So it's now up to the coach. The coach can say maybe for Abubakar to boost his confidence, just for him to give him another chance to start him. But there are still options on the bench. We saw Toko Ekambi come in and play as a substitute for Mokanjo. He could be given the nod. Or Jack Zua, who started most of the games in the Africa Cup of Nations.
All right, my director is actually saying you can take 2 calls, and here maybe you might actually find another opinion, but again, they've actually been dropped again. Situma, your final thoughts about this game, because now it's all Germany. It's so obvious. It's all Germany. Do you think Cameroon might shock these guys? Only one guy.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 situation, and what I can say is that Germany,
Hello? Tujambo, my brother. Where are you calling from? Unapiga simu kutoka wapi?
Kiambu.
Oh, Kiambu. Yeah, tell us about Germany versus Cameroon. What do you think about that match?
Germany is the win.
Germany is going to win that match. Thank you very much. And of course, taking it on a scale, we're seeing Germany having the upper hand, because Africa sometimes we don't believe on ourselves. So there we have it. Germany is going to take it. Are you in agreement with that?
I tend to disagree, because both
As
teams
always.
have a lot.
As always.
Yes.
But anyway,
No
no,
problem.
let's
It's okay. It's normal. It's normal. It's life.
It's life.
Yes.
Yeah, because look at Cameroon, how they are playing right now. Germany did get a lot of confidence from Chile, and I think one thing Joachim Low, apart from giving them experience, he's trying to teach German players how to play German national team tournament football, which means being able for the team, being able to defend and stuff like that. So I think Cameroon, if they play their cards right, they can get a result.
All right, there you have it in today's show as far as the odds is concerned. Now, I hope you've actually prepared your best slip very well, because they had their own opinion. Please make sure, of course, we have to actually wash our hands off this, but again, they are right at some point, but again, their leadership and their punditry is actually always very, very straight on the line. Make sure you have your bet slips ready, and make sure you bet on the right team. My name is Nick Mudimbo. On behalf of the production team, Hesbon, MC Dan Guru, and everyone actually involved in this production, Mr. Steve Rigunjuguna, James Situma, very entertaining pair here. And of course, it's been an honor to sit in for Ida Oringa, who's a bit under the weather. I'll see you on Monday, maybe on another situation. Of course, thank you for the calls. Thank you for watching The Odds. My name is Nick Modimba. We'll see you hopefully next week.